Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cynical Marketers, episode 29, coming at you. We are talking about
29.
Amazon Prime Day.
Ooh, our favorite.
Oh, I know, right? Another big
No
event. I'm
cynicism
sure.
there.
What did you buy? Anything?
No.
No, I didn't. I know.
I am, the funny thing about me is that I have boycotted Amazon since Amazon started selling books for DePaul when I was in college back in 1999, 2000. So when they came on the scene and they were very heavily targeting folks at school, like targeting us for book purchases, is when I really was like, no, I'm going to support my local bookstore, right? So I have not been a fan since. And people, every single time that I say this, people are just dumbfounded. They're like, what the heck are you talking about? And then, of course, I have to explain to a lot of people that Amazon used to just sell books.
Yeah, I know. No one remembers that. That's how Amazon
I am
started.
that old. And I am that, and I am that petty. Like, I'll occasionally, unless I absolutely need something, and I mean credit to Amazon because they'll deliver most things on the same day now.
I know.
But, I have not been a fan. I have not been a fan before. It was cool to
That's a
not
long
be a
grudge.
fan.
I try to shop local. So sometimes you will look on Amazon and do research and stuff. But Amazon, to me, has gone the way of Google and all these other things. And the things are so gamified now by people. So like SEO is so gamified that you can't trust search results. I don't trust results necessarily on Amazon anymore either when you're looking for something.
Yeah.
The sellers on Amazon, the top ones, know how to game the system to get to be the one to show up, and it's not necessarily the best thing.
And they pay a ton.
I know.
They pay. It's pay to play on Amazon if you're a small business.
Yeah, definitely is. When we used to have our own e-commerce, I have not liked Amazon either, and I never liked dealing with it. I sourced ours out to a third party,
right?
And basically, we did a licensing deal where we let them handle it because they were good at it. And I'm like, I don't know, we don't really know Amazon, and I don't want to learn it, and I don't know. We'll just take a royalty on this. You guys run it for us.
Yeah. You do the things.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So this Prime Day, I wasn't sure what to expect. And then, of course, day one, that all the reports came out saying Amazon is trending 41% lower than previous Prime Days and so on. And so I'm not even going to lie, I got a little excited about that number because I was like, finally, because I think Amazon has just taken over so many businesses, and we've talked in our Black Friday Cyber Monday episode, we talked about how much money Amazon has made off of small businesses and how very, very little, if anything, small businesses make off of Amazon. Mm-hmm. And so, I was low-key, I'm not even going to lie. I was actually kind of like, oh, wow, maybe people are really pivoting away from these, from Amazon, right? Like from these big box. I don't want to even call it a big box retailer. I have no idea. Like Amazon to me is a marketplace, right? But I thought maybe people are really pivoting away from this, but they're not.
They're not.
No, that was just day one.
And even then, I don't know if that info was accurate. Like I've seen that it was not accurate and it was a rumor that day one was down so much, but they set another record sales year for them and another huge event for them. So even if you're out there and you hear, and this is a thing for us in marketing, it always happens. You hear complaints from consumers and stuff, and they're like, I hate it when people do blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but then you don't. Your mouth says you don't like these things and I'm not going to do it. And I'm Bezos, you're blah, blah, blah. But then they go and they're going to.
No.
I just need this one thing. Like, people's activism from their mouth never matches really their actual, reality.
No,
so whatever if you don't like politically or environmental or whatever, right? Whatever it is about them you don't like, in secret, they still have Amazon boxes showing up onto their front porch. So, and you can see the sales from their record again. Now, part of that, they doubled their days, right? I mean, they went to 4 days on this one.
Yeah.
So now they're like, hey, we set a record. I'm like, well, okay, well, yeah, if you make Prime like a month long next year, you'll set another sales record too.
Yeah, but it was interesting though, because some of the statistics that we've seen, right, show that they've even beat Black Friday Cyber Monday from last year, which is interesting because so many companies this year have reported losses and have blamed things like the economic shifts and political like craziness that's going on and whatever. They've blamed a lot of things. Yes. Like they've blamed a lot of things on like, oh, the consumers are not spending money. And Amazon just went and said, nope, yes, they are. They're just not spending it with you. Like it's basically what's happened.
Yeah.
Because they had a 30% jump from Black Friday, Cyber Monday in those 4 days, which is wild. That's at least what's,
that's crazy.
What I think Barron's is reporting that 30% jump year over year, and just from last year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So it's something like 24.1 billion in sales. Is that like that's the same number you were seeing, Mike, everywhere?
It's crazy, right?
It's insane. 24.1 billion. Okay, just so we're all clear, it's a B, not an I. Yeah. It's a wild amount of money.
And people I was looking at stuff this week too, and I saw someone talking about how they're saying and seeing more and more consumer sentiment about how they're tired of being sold to everywhere. Right. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they say that to you, but then their actual behaviors do not bear that out.
Differently.
It's interesting. The cool thing is for me to say, oh, no, I shop local.
Right.
That's the cool thing you tell your friend.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to look like the bad guy,
But
then you don't. You're going to go to Amazon because it's so convenient, and you can get stuff same day delivered in some cases. Yeah. You're like, I don't know, why not?
I mean, here's the thing though, and I hate to like own this, but I do. Like Amazon does make it easy to shop there. You know what I mean? It is so simple, saves all of your info. Click, you're checked out. Stuff is showing up at your door like 4 hours later. They have really streamlined this process. And so this is when we talk about brand loyalty and building your brand and pulling your consumers to you. This is why, because the consumer will go to Amazon. Small businesses don't make that much on Amazon.
No.
And this is and it's so wild to me to like read these numbers because a lot of the stuff, so like they said something like 2/3 of all items bought were under $20. Those are, Mike, what you call impulse purchases, right? And we've seen an increase of Prime Day ads, like at least I have on Meta, right? Like I spend a lot of my time on IG, on Instagram. So like less Facebook, but more like Instagram and TikTok is kind of where I live. And I've seen a ton of ads for Amazon for Prime Day. Like that first and second day were just every other ad for me was like a UGC ad specifically linking to something cheap on Amazon.
Yep.
And so
I saw a lot of what they were trying to do also is, that ad that they've run in various forms of 60% of all purchases are from small businesses, Yep. So, hey, we're not the big evil meanie.
Right, right.
But the problem is, okay, are they? But then no one knows who those businesses are. You don't have a loyal following. If you're a business on Amazon, you're an affiliate of Amazon's.
Yeah.
You're just there. You're not a brand. Unless you're already well established, like you're going to go buy and look for Under Armour shoes. You might know that, but people aren't necessarily going to Amazon to say that, right? Like they're going to look for running shoes and then they're going to look and see what shows up, and they don't care who the brand is. Right. What's the price and when does it get delivered? Is it in Prime? How fast can I get it? So I don't know, like I get it. So many e-com people say, oh, you have to be on Amazon. I'm like, do you? It's like a deal with the devil to me, or it's Walmart. Walmart does the same thing to its retailers and just squeezes them down where, your profit margins are next to none. And it's really difficult for small businesses to operate with Amazon. Like if you want to be in Prime, you got to give them, you have to give them product in a Prime warehouse on consignment.
Yeah. And
most small businesses can't do that. Like you don't have the cash flow to make a run that hasn't been purchased, then just is going to go sit in an Amazon warehouse that hopes you get purchased.
Yeah. It's so crazy to me, but it's just, some of the stuff that was interesting that emerged too is like folks were buying like big ticket items, like appliances. I don't know that I could buy an appliance unless I see it. And maybe I'm just old, but like I need to touch it. I need to put my hands on it. I'm not buying a fridge from Amazon. Like I just find that weird. Okay, but that's just maybe I'm just old. So that was kind of an interesting one. And then somebody was commenting, and I can't remember where I found that. Let me look. I think PR Newswire. They did the snowball discount effect. So they started off with smaller deals and then kind of ramped up towards the end of the sale and did deeper discounts on day 3 and 4, which was interesting. I thought that was kind of an interesting strategy, but they said overall less items actually were discounted. Like there was an overall lesser discount. Yeah. So I don't know.
I've always thought that about Prime.
Like
I didn't go look at it this year, but like in years past, when you go and look at what are the Prime deals, and you look and you're like, I mean, I don't need this stuff, but I guess somebody does, So yeah, it's not like it's for everything, but I don't know. And I'm sure if anyone listens to this, they're probably Amazon shoppers, and maybe you're a secret Amazon shopper. You tell people you don't,
No, I am not, but you might be talking to our listeners. I am definitely. I will own the fact that I buy things on Amazon when it's an absolute emergency, and then I hate it. I absolutely feel like guilt over it, which is just such a weird psychological thing for me. But like there are
billions of dollars on Prime because no one's out there doing it, right? And like you were saying, if the vast majority of those purchases were like impulse level pricing, so to get to that $24 billion number, how many orders was that actually then?
I can't even imagine.
That's incredible.
It's so crazy if you think about it. It's just nuts how that's an insane amount of money, right? Like 24 billion is a crazy amount of money. And then there was of course discussion around how every Prime Day there's sort of a halo effect, right? That other e-com businesses get a boost in sales because they run some variation of a Prime Day event. For me, it's nothing that I ever recommend to clients. I know that we don't really kind of track that as much. I prefer like anniversaries or things that are significant to whoever you are as a small business.
For your actual brand.
Trying to compete for attention on Prime Day is just, the fact that it surpassed Black Friday, Cyber Monday last year is crazy. Like, then I don't know what this Black Friday, Cyber Monday is going to look like. It's going to be like a month and a half long event.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what else it would be. But
and you have from previous a lot of experience. Like you worked with brands who were Amazon, so you have dealt.
Yeah.
I know like when they run these, the person taking the cut on the discount is not Amazon.
Correct.
Hey, you want to be in Prime, like Amazon still gets their cut, baby.
Yep.
They're not moving their
price for you. This is where I am at a loss of how a small business even makes money on Amazon, because they almost force you into a specific pricing structure. If you've ever, just do this. Just look up a regular retailer and go to their website and look up a product, and then go to Amazon and look up that same product. And you're going to find it on Amazon for less almost every single time. The same identical thing. And the reason for that is that Amazon forces your pricing down. It decides what you should be priced at in order for your item to sell to Amazon's customer, right? Because these are not your customers. These are Amazon's customers. So they will force you to a specific price point. And I've seen it a lot of the time below profit margin, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Unless the hope is that you sell this one thing and this person comes back to you. Now, we did talk about this in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday episode when we talked about drop shippers and all those different things. I think that's a whole different animal that I don't fully have a handle on. But I think it's just a regular retailer. Again, your goal is to always just get folks to your site, into your store, whatever that may be. Because I don't know, I find, and there's so much cheap stuff on Amazon. Like if the average, 2/3 of all sales came from items that are less than $20, what are people buying?
Right.
What junk are you buying?
Or you're on Amazon and you're just trying to get that purchase. And if you're trying this and this happens in e-com, there's agencies who tell people,
right,
well, okay, but acquire the customer and then you get lifetime value. But you don't acquire anything on Amazon. Yeah. You don't have any of that customer info. You're not getting an email from them. How are you remarketing or retargeting those people?
Yeah.
You're not. You don't own those people. Amazon, that's an Amazon customer. And you are an affiliate of Amazon's. You help make Amazon money, So I don't know. I don't get it. Unless you have robust sales somewhere else already, which you see the more successful brands who have a brick and mortar outlet,
Yeah.
they're out there in lots of other places and they're on Amazon. But if you're trying to only make it with Amazon, I don't know how you can.
I don't.
'Cause they're
I
not
would love
coming
for
to you.
somebody to come on the podcast who is making money on Amazon and tell us that they're making money on Amazon. Because I have not seen, like real life, I've not seen a single.
As a brand. You're a
As a
brand.
brand.
You're not some
Yeah.
crap drop shipper,
Right.
who's
Right.
just buying cheap
As the
Temu
brand.
crap and then you're throwing it out on Amazon.
Like I said, I've seen people do this with like old inventory, and they'll unload it that way because anything is better than it's sitting in a warehouse, right? But I just don't. Otherwise, I don't get it. And I think the takeaway, Mike, from these Prime Days too is, for me at least, two things. One was, there's a lot of BS out there about boycotting certain companies, right? Like Target and Walmart by the way, Target and Walmart also saw increases during Prime Days, right? Because people were comparison shopping. So, I think that virtue signaling, like you were talking about, like, oh, you say that you do X, Y, and Z, but there's Amazon boxes still showing up at your door. I think that really this showed us that the consumers are still out there. They're still out there spending money. $24 billion in 4 days, to be exact. That's a crazy, crazy amount of money. So I think that's number one. I think like that social, virtue signaling is just it's not lining up to what the numbers.
It's frustrating because and I've had for years this philosophy of marketing of not being annoying.
Right.
But then you're like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
This is why brands do these things, is because consumers will say one thing, but then their actions are another. So you're like, I don't know, I get it. Why not? Why not enter them into a funnel that sends them 40 emails in 25 days?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I may lose a couple of people, but I'm going to convert enough to make it worth it. So who cares? If a couple of people unsubscribe, fine. You were never a customer of mine. You're done. Fine.
I mean, it's wild. To me, it's just, it's saying one thing and then obviously sales numbers are showing another, I think is something to keep in mind when you're talking to your consumers. And also for me, the second takeaway from this is like, buckle up. Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming. And it's gonna be crazy. If this was Prime Day
already,
if this was Prime Day, like now you need to start planning for Black Friday, Cyber Monday now in July. Like you need to start preparing your lists, your segments, your deals. You're looking over your margins, looking over every single thing, because if this was Prime Day and it beat Black Friday, Cyber Monday from last year by like 30%.
Like at Grunstyle, we would be talking about.
Yeah. Like now is the time. And so if you are not right now, if you are not even thinking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you need to be like, take that. That needs to be the takeaway, I think, from this episode.
And like what Amazon did, this is we used to do this too, is you can't just blast out a whole store sale or something. Like you've got to have a reason to have people keep opening your emails and your messaging and to come back and check. So you do daily deals and there's stuff that's changing. And, if you just throw it out as a big store-wide sale on day one, people are going to be like, okay, I checked it. Got what I needed. I'm good. Yeah. They're not going to come back.
Yeah.
So you gotta you have to keep it fresh, and there's things you need to do to give people a reason to come back and check. Yeah. Is there a new product? And you do new product launches,
Yeah.
But
Start planning.
This is your planning.
This is
Start planning it out now.
Yep.
So
that's it. That's the takeaway.
All right, everybody. That's another wrap on another episode. Amazon. Our feelings. We've talked about Amazon before. Let us know. I'm sure you're an Amazon shopper. Are you a secret Amazon shopper?
Ooh.
Or do you tell your friends? Like, are you ashamed and tell your friends? Oh no, I shop local, but then quickly get out there and get those boxes off your porch?
Go lie to us in comments. We'll take it.
Yeah, let us know. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We continue to march along, but thank you so much. We picked up a lot of followers and we're getting more views.
Exciting.
So it's starting to work, weirdly.
Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.